welcome to Behavior Education. I am Lori and today is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. Who wants to see a Brazilian rainbow boa actually doing some training? Well, I have one for you. Last night, our Brazilian rainbow boa, who is coming up on 4 years old, Rowena, decided that she actually would engage in a training exercise. That doesn't always happen. If you know anything about rainbow boas, they are pretty shy animals. They hide a lot, and we really don't see them very often. The 4 that we have, unfortunately, I did not start training snakes until after they were a little bit older. So they didn't get a start when they were very, very young. And they are a little bit behind in some of the training exercises that you see some of the pythons doing that I was able to start when they were tiny babies. I thought this was a very enjoyable session for me. Hopefully Rowena had a nice time. She didn't seem to be bothered by it, and she actually did very well. Everybody, I hope you enjoy watching this. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at behavioreducationllc@gmail.com, or you can contact me via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or my website at behavioreducation.org.
Rowena was visible. She was sitting on the floor of her enclosure just in front of her water dish. So I'm asking her if she will please come up and shift out onto this activity station. I was very surprised when she did because she's one of our inexperienced target trained snakes. Unfortunately, I didn't start training her until she was a little bit older, and I was surprised she's doing so well and she seems so confident in this behavior. She just came right out and over the shift tub. And when she got to the other side, I went ahead and delivered the reinforcement right away because I wanted this to be a positive experience for her. However, she didn't realize to hang on, and so I used the target disc to catch her because I was afraid she was going to fall right off, and I just held her on top of the activity stand. When I came back later to check on her, she had gone into the activity station, which is just fine. She took her food in there with her, and she was doing this behavior that I've seen the rainbow boas and occasionally the pythons do, where they let go after they've wrapped the prey item for a few minutes, and then they push their nose all over it, they smell it, and they just seem to be investigating it before they decide to eat it or not. And this is oftentimes when they'll get themselves in the correct position to eat it in the best way possible, which is usually head first. It's usually easiest for them to get the nose in their mouth and swallow it that way. I then came back later to check on her again, and she had dropped the prey item. So this is a great example of how when you think about setting up your activity stations and your tubs, it's a great idea to think ahead as to where you might want to put holes and openings, because I was able to stick the tongs right through this hole, pick up the prey item, and show it to Rowena again so that she can start eating it for the second time. She gets the nose in her mouth, and I'm hanging on to it for a little while here because I don't want her to drop it again, and I'm sort of putting some pressure on it to hold it into her mouth. And I even repositioned the tongs once in order to just make sure that she has a good grip on that and that she actually starts working it to the back of her mouth in order to eat it, because I don't want her to keep dropping it. When they do that over and over again, their teeth are biting it and the prey item can get kind of messy, and that was already starting to happen here. So I just wanted her to get a good grip on it, to start working that prey item to the back of her mouth so that she could start getting it down her esophagus and eat it. And once I was sure that that was happening, I went ahead and left her alone again. Since Rowena seemed to be doing such a wonderful job, I decided to try something with her I haven't tried before. And this was just because instead of trying to move the activity station adjacent to her enclosure or removing the lid and picking her up and putting her away forcibly, even though it would have been very, very mild force, it still would have been force. It wouldn't have been her choice. I decided to see if I could target her back into her enclosure. And this is a behavior she has not ever done before. Again, she has limited target training sessions under her belt. And I was really actually shocked that this worked, that she targeted not only out of the activity station, but around the corner of it and back towards her enclosure, and she completely targeted back inside her habitat. I was so proud of her, and I really hope this is a training breakthrough for Rowena and I, and that we can move forward from here, and that she can do more and more as she becomes comfortable with me and comfortable with the training.
Thank you so much for watching and joining me for this special Brazilian rainbow bonus training episode. I really enjoyed working with Rowena last night. I was very pleased to see her being active and engaged, and she did very well. I hope you enjoyed it also, and that you'll join me again for more animal training and behavior videos. Until next time, please remember to always be kind and love your animals.